It seems like in the last 7 days, we have been inundated with polling data. And every single bit of the polling data that has come out in the last 7 days is obviously worse than the polling data that came out 7 days prior to that, which was worse than 7 days prior to that, and so on and so forth. But all of the polling data that has come out this past week tells us that Republicans in the United States are in serious, serious trouble with the American electorate. According to the latest Morning Consult poll, for the first time in 4 years, the American public now trusts Democrats more than they trust Republicans to handle the United States economy. When Donald Trump was sworn in on January 20th of this year, the polling data showed that Republicans had an 11-point advantage on the question of which party is better to handle the economy. Republicans beat Democrats by 11 points on January 20th. Today, however, they lose to Democrats, not by much, but 46% of Americans say Democrats do a better job on the economy, 43% say Republicans do a better job. And that is outside of the margin of error for this poll, which only has a margin of error of 2 points, which is actually pretty damn good. Much better than we see with, presidential polling or political race polling. The issue polls are still important, and I do believe the issue polls are still accurate. Election polls, I got no faith in them anymore. I'm not even going to talk about them. But issues, that matters. So, people trust Democrats more than Republicans on the issue of the economy. Do you see anything in the foreseeable future that's going to shift that? Right? Do Republicans have a magic wand up their sleeve that's going to make the economy better to where people suddenly say, oh, wait, Republicans are better? No, they don't. We have tariffs that are now coming in less than 90 days, maybe less, maybe more, who the hell knows. That uncertainty, of course, is creating chaos in the stock market, which is causing a lot of people to lose their retirement savings. And of course, you have Republicans in the House who are getting ready to pass a massive tax cut for the wealthy elite while cutting benefits to Medicaid and food stamps for low-income Americans. Yeah, I don't think these polls are going to shift in the way that Republicans would like them to. They're probably going to shift more and more towards the Democrats. But here's what gets me about this poll. It's something I have said for years and something I'm apparently going to have to continue to say maybe for the rest of my life. And it's this. Voters of America, what the frick is wrong with you? I'm trying to cut back on the swearing, folks. What is wrong with you? Okay, 3 months ago you said, nope, Republicans are totally better to handle the economy. For the last 4 years, you've said Republicans are totally better to handle the economy. Why in God's name would you think that? There should literally be 1% of the American population that thinks Republicans are better at handling the economy, and it's the top 1%. Because when Republicans are in power, the top 1% make a hell of a lot of money. Everybody else gets screwed. You know what? Maybe the top 5%, maybe even the top 10. But it should never go above 10% of the public. Every Republican president in my lifetime has presided over a recession. Every Democratic president in my lifetime, and unfortunately there's only been 3, has had to pull the economy out of the shithole that Republicans put it in. Clinton did it. We had a robust economy, a booming economy. Obama did it, inherited something far worse than what Clinton did, pulled us out of it within 2 years. Righted the housing market, put regulations in place to prevent something like that from happening again. We once again had an economy that was rolling. It just wasn't quite good enough for everybody yet. So they went to Trump, and everything came crashing down immediately. So Biden comes along. He's pulling us out of it. Oh God, we had horrible inflation. We had a horrible recession, but he got us out of it. And even though all the economists were predicting a recession during the Biden years, They made the difficult choices, kind of put a little strain on us, but it prevented a recession and ultimately brought the economy back. But people were left out of the recovery, and I get that. So then they said, well, Republicans are obviously better. And we're right back here, not even 3 months in, and we're already being told we're headed towards a recession again. I get that Democrats are not perfect. I'll be the first one to criticize them every time they screw up. I said it during the Biden years. He did a lot. He didn't do enough. He did good things, but didn't make them great things. And he could have, but he didn't. That annoyed me. Same thing with Obama. But was the economy better when they left office than when they took office? 100%. You can't say that about any other Republican president that we have had in my lifetime. 10 of the last 11 recessions in the United States have been under a Republican president, and the one that was under a Democrat happened in the first few months of Jimmy Carter's presidency, which was still based on the economic policies of the Republican that came before him. So technically, I'm going to consider that a Republican recession. There is no question. The only question is why anyone that's not in the top 10% of income earners thinks Republicans are good at handling the economy when for more than 40 years they have proven to you they will break it every single time. Thanks for watching, everybody, and if you're not already, please subscribe to the channel. We got fresh content every day for you. And if you want to follow us across social media, make sure you check out all of the social links that we have posted in the description of this video.